question, why did I choose homeschooling? So for me, homeschooling has sat in my head for a long time. It's not something that I just started out of the blue. So I had always thought about it. But I always thought it wasn't in my reach. I always thought like it wasn't just going to work because of my situation then. How do you structure a typical homeschooling day? So fortunately, I don't get to do most of the tutoring. So there are certain aspects that you do, like there's aspects that I do, and then there's aspects where tutor comes in. So from Monday to Thursday, the tutor comes in. On Friday, they go so that they just also socialize and also get to take advantage of the club days. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nudi. I wanted to answer some of the questions that have been asked. So recently I posted that I had started homeschooling, and some people came to my inbox to ask me about the process of homeschooling. Mercy prepared some quick fire questions. I think it covers almost every question that everyone has, so I will read and answer as they come. So on to the first question, why did I choose homeschooling? So for me, homeschooling has sat in my head for a long time. It's not something that I just started out of the blue. So I had always thought about it, but I always thought it wasn't in my reach. I always thought like it wasn't just going to work because of my situation then. And then two occurrences happened. So my first started creche and then moved to FS1. And I was, because she had, like, that is Mali, she had some like speech delays, not entirely, but like she was a bit delayed. It became very difficult for me to be able to see progress in like a traditional school setup. And so the first thought was we get a speech therapist. And so we started looking for that, and then like I thought just dropped in my head, how about you homeschool? It sat there, but Mali was in a traditional school doing the IGCSE curriculum. And then Fadhili's time came, and like Mali school was hella expensive. And so when Fadhili's turn came, I was like, it's okay, like we would sacrifice because it's something we had planned, but like this amount of money would guarantee us like very good quality homeschooling for both of them. So I started thinking around it, and coupled with Fadhili's health challenges as well. If you don't know, Fadhili has sickle cell disease, and it does take a toll on the body, especially when they're over stimulated and all that. So I always wanted to have him around me. Then we moved to the village and we stayed very far from town, around an hour's drive. I'm deep in the village, and I was like, perfect timing. I think it was just like really, it was the right time. And so around that same time, my friend also started posting about them offering homeschooling. And so like it was just alignment. So that's how we got here. So what curriculum are they using? So they are using the IGCSE curriculum. So yeah, IGCSE curriculum. Fadhili is in creche, Mali is in FS2. So Fadhili is going to move to FS1 next year. How do you structure a typical homeschooling day? So fortunately, I don't get to do most of the tutoring. So there are certain aspects that you do, like there's aspects that I do, and then there's aspects where tutor comes in. So they have a timetable. Let me just go through that timetable. But Fadhili has his own timetable, and then Mali has as well. So for Mali's in FS2. So for Mali, the timetable runs from 7:45 in the morning until 4:10 in the evening. And our classes are sort of like ranging, and there's a lot of breaks in between. There's lunch, there's clubs that she also gets, and I'll break down how that happens. But our classes are basically on music, there's swimming, there's literacy. So we've had like some small homes pool in the home, but like we also take advantage of taking, because Malio's a really good swimmer in school, so we try to also get her to swim. And then there's literacy, there's creative or golden time, and then there's PSRN, which is problem solving, reasoning, and numbers. Then we have CL, which is communication and language, knowing and understanding the world, creative development, personal, social, and emotional development, and everyone reading in class. So there's a literacy part, there's ICT, there's art, there's dance, there's show and tell. Yes, and then there's Kiswahili. So from Monday to Thursday, the tutor comes in. On Friday, they go, so that they just also socialize and also get to take advantage of the club days. For Fadili, who is in creche, his schedule is from 8 to 12:30. So after lunch, he doesn't come back to class. And her lessons include independent learning activities, communication and language, problem solving, reasoning and numbers, knowing and understanding the world, physical education, story, literacy, and what else? Numeracy, golden time. So basically their timetables is different, but the tutor is one, and they all learn in this class, so they all sort of learn together. And so what I've seen is Fadili has really improved, is learning even concepts that are not like for creche, which I think could be a good thing. So yeah, so that's basically how those classes have been structured. So that's how the classes have really been structured, and they are really enjoying it, I would say. I've gotten them. So they're really enjoying it. So the typical structure just flows with how the teacher goes, and then they have a playground, so they get to play a lot of play. What subject do you teach at home? So I've gotten to talk about that. Do you follow a timetable or go with the flow? There's a timetable. How do you make learning fun? So their learning is so fun. Like I wish I was able to get this kind of an opportunity. I would have thrived. Their learning is so much fun. They have time to go to the playground. They have time to be able to mold. They even recently came up with their own molding clay, like they make it from scratch. It is so much fun. And I think it's basically the outdoors. There's a lot of outdoors, and then there's also a lot of do-it-yourself stuff, which I really want to believe is fun for them. What challenges have you faced? Like just the entire adopting, like to be able to also take up some classes and be able to just ensure that you're part of the learning process. As someone who is not naturally a teacher, and also Fadili is just like Fadili. I don't, most of the time I'm unable to control him. For him, like I'm just like mommy. But then because most of the learning I don't get to do it myself, so I guess it's not quite a challenge. How do you balance work and homeschooling? Again, I have a tutor, but then I work from home as well, so that helps. Where do you get learning materials? From all over the place. In Kisumu, like most of the stuff we got from China Square, Textbook Center, from the supermarkets, like it's all over the place, so it depends with what we need. So I'll stop there for part 1, and then I'll come back with a part 2. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. There's going to be a lot of content around homeschooling, and so if you have any questions, please also leave them down below. I will include them in my part 3. Otherwise, thank you. Bye.